Hello students, my name is Dr. Varun and I'm going to help you out with your biology on this channel, that is Biology Simplified English. Today we're going to start with the chapter number 2 of your 12th class, that is human reproduction. This gonna be a one shot video, so we gonna see the thing in little fast forward terms. If you want any topic to be described in detail, comment it down, or you can personally message as well. Moving on, certain topics I will definitely tell in the detail in the upcoming videos, but for now I'm gonna help you out with a quick revision so that the board students or the students going to have their PA or a unit test, they can quickly revise these chapters. And if you want to go it in detail, we can do it little later. You can just simply tell me. In the human reproduction chapter, the first thing that we're gonna study would be we are dividing the chapter into 3 parts. Similar like the chapter number 2, we're gonna divide it into 3 parts. What are the 3 parts? We have pre-fertilization events, we have fertilization events, and we have post-fertilization events. This chapters has certain terminologies given for each of them. For example, in the pre-fertilization events, what are the major steps? That is gametogenesis, gamete formation, then the gamete transfer. In case of humans, what we have, a copulatory organ, male copulatory organ, penis actually goes and inserted inside the female reproductive tract, and then the semen is ejaculated out, and this process is known as insemination. Then in fertilization even, what happened? Actual act of fusion of male female gamete and formation of zygote. Moving on, the third one is the post-fertilization events. In post-fertilization events, what will happen? Your development of the zygote will take place, means your embryogenesis will occur. Okay, this development will be taken place inside the female womb. So when the zygote is dividing and forming the other structure, it go and attaches into the uterus. So this process is called as implantation. That will also we have to learn. After implantation, the whole 9 months, that is the time frame humans take, that is known as gestation period, that will occur. And the last one, once the baby is fully ready, we have to deliver it out from the female body, and that process is known as parturition. And now the baby has to be fed on the mother milk, so that process is the lactation. So all of this process we have to study, that how they reproduced and the final changes that are occurring. Starting with the first thing, that is male reproductive system. So first is male reproductive system. Now the male reproductive system, if the first thing someone will want to ask that where it is located in the body, so it is located in the pelvic region of the body, of abdominal body. So this is your head, this is your thorax, and after the diaphragm is your abdominal part, and in that the pelvic region is where the male system is present. Now the male reproductive system is divided or segregated for the studies into 2 parts. What are those 2 parts? That is primary sex organ, and second is secondary sex organs. In primary sex organs, we have testes pair. We call them primary and secondary on the basis of what? On the basis of whether they produces the gametes or not. Okay, and here your testes not only make the gametes but also the testosterone. That's why the testes are the example of heterocrine gland or a mixocrine gland, which we have already studied in the 11th class. Coming on the secondary sex organs, they are divided into 3 different categories over here. What are those categories? Number 1 category is the accessory ducts. What would be the accessory ducts? Like your vas deferens, epididymis, then you have your vasa efferentia, and all of these ducts which are conducting the sperm from the testes towards the outside. All those ducts are coming over here. We will learn that, okay, that in the pathway of the sperm. Okay, moving on. Second is the accessory glands. These glands will add up certain fluids, certain nutrients, certain enzymes, and even certain of the biomolecules, okay, certain biomolecules into the sperm, so to make it more nutritive, able to survive into the female tract. We will learn later on. Okay, so these three gland names are the most important one. What are they? These are the seminal vesicle. After that we have bulbourethral glands. Then we have the prostate gland. So these three names are super important and their function as well. Okay, then moving on to the last one, that is the external genitalia. So what is a person, if a cadaver is there with you, okay, so what you can see in it, that is the external genitalia, right? So in the external genitalia we have what? We have presence of like scrotum, which you can see. You can see penis. Okay, so this thing is there in the male reproductive system. If we want to see its diagram, okay, so quick diagram would be something like this. Okay, so this is your first structure, which is the external genitalia. You will be able to see. So I have made what? I have made the penis. This area, which is the enlarged portion, is called as glans penis. It has a aperture present through which urine as well as the sperm is ejaculated out, called as urethral orifice or urethral meatus. Anything you can say. There is what? A duct is present, which is called as urethra. Okay, now over here inside it there is a presence of what? There is a presence of testes, which is attached to the wall of the scrotum with the help of gubernaculum. These testes are releasing its secretion inside a coiled structure called as epididymis. Now this epididymis finally forms a structure called as vas deferens. This vas deferens goes above the urinary bladder. So can I make the urinary bladder somewhat here? That it is going above the urinary bladder. So this is your urinary bladder. Okay, and over here there is a presence of a gland called as a paired gland. This red color one I am making, the name is seminal vesicle. Now before this vas deferens is meeting with the duct of the seminal vesicle, it is little bit becomes swollen up, and we call it what? Ampulla. And this ampulla joins with the your seminal vesicle and forms what? Ejaculatory duct. Now this ejaculatory duct joins with the urethra, which is coming out from the urinary bladder. Over here only there is a presence of a gland, donut shaped gland called as prostate. Okay, now the next thing is, as they are joined over here, they goes into the penile area. As the base of penis is there only the presence of a P-shaped gland. This paired P-shaped gland is bulbourethral gland. Now the urethra that you are seeing, okay, from this area to this area, it is longest in males compared to female. How long in males? It is 20 centimeter long and it has 3 parts present. Okay, we have prosthetic urethra which is present close to the prostate region. Then we have the membranous urethra which is present at the base of the penis. So imagine that if this is the penis hanging, so this is the base of the penis. Here only the membranous urethra, very smallest part of the urethra present. Okay, and this inside next part of the urethra which is present in the penis, okay, that part is known as what? It is known as your what we say, penile urethra. Okay, now inside your penis there are 2 different types of tissues present. What are those 2 different types of tissues? One is the cavernosa and another one is the spongiosum. So corpus cavernosa and corpus spongiosum. So this is the male reproductive system. Let's quickly go forward into the each of them. What is the possibility present between them? What is present inside it? Okay, so let me just check. Okay, now the next thing we're gonna study about the testes. Now if you see the testes, okay, I'm going to the next part. So inside testes, if you make a cut of the testes, we are doing it very fast. Okay, we are not going in very detail of the thing. So if this is the testes, okay, sorry, not visible, if this is the testes and you are taking a transverse section of testes, inside it what you will see that there are multiple pyramid kind of structures present. How many of them are present? Close to 250 such compartments are present and we call them testicular lobule. Okay, inside this testicular lobule there is a presence of coiled ducts. Okay, these ducts could be 1 to 3 in number and we call them what? Seminiferous tubule. Okay, inside this seminiferous tubule only your sperm formation, occur. Okay, the whole process we will learn. Okay, the next part is testes are present outside the abdominal cavity. That's why they are hanging in the scrotum. Okay, scrotum is a bag. Okay, now they are present outside. Why? Because the testes needs 2 to 2.5 degree less temperature in the body. Okay, if they require 2 to 2.5 degree temperature less, they will be present outside. Okay, if the temperature is cold or if it is heat, accordingly their position from the body is being regulated with the help of muscles present over there. Okay, in detail in the longer form of video. Okay, moving on to the next thing, the testes breadth, size, length, basic thing, you can do it, we are not gonna do it. Okay, let's see that what is present in the seminiferous tubule, which is the next important thing over here. So I am zooming in that areas and seeing the seminiferous tubule. Okay, so next structure that I'm gonna see is the seminiferous tubule. So if you see that if it is a tube like structure and if you cut a tube, you will get a circular outline. Okay, so this is that circular outline. The outside area of the seminiferous tubule, we call that interstitium or interstitial fluid is present over there. Here in the interstitium, there is the presence of Leydig cells. So first point that we will study is that here the Leydig cells are present. Okay, so we call them Leydig cells. Okay, sometimes they are also called as interstitial cell. Okay, so also called as interstitial cells. Okay, now inside it there are 2 different types of cells present. One is the spermatogonium. Okay, so the spermatogonia that is present inside it, they are a diploid cells. Okay, so I am that yellow color cell that I'm making right now. These are what? Spermatogonium, which is lining the seminiferous tubule. Okay, so all are diploid cells. Okay, in between them there are presence of very tight junctions kind of a thing, and these cells are known as what? Sertoli cells, the green color cells I am making. Now these are called as Sertoli cells. These are also called as substenticular cells. These are also called as nurse cells. Okay, so these are your Sertoli cells. These are, yellow color is your spermatogonium. Now someone will ask, like, these are the only cells? No, these spermatogonia will divide. Okay, and they only gonna make the sperm. So means there will be presence of sperm cells in their different levels of development. Okay, so here what will happen? Spermatogonia will change into primary spermatocytes. Okay, so I am making them into primary spermatocytes. So they are changed. Okay, they are present compactly, very close to each other. There's no spacing kind of a thing is present because tight junctions are present with the help of Sertoli cells. Why tight junctions? Because they anything want to reach to these cells, even the food, it will first goes to Sertoli cell and then only it will go here. Why? Because Sertoli cells make blood testes barrier. Because these cells are what? These cells are haploid, which is not similar to the same ploidy of the other cell. And if they do not have same ploidy of the other cell, then what will happen? The body will find them as a different cell and will attack immune system of the body. So to protect these cells, Sertoli cells are making a tight junction that it is tightly holding them that no, I won't let them attacked by the immune system even. Okay, so this I have not made it in the diagram that well, but you have to make it properly. If you see the diagram also, most of the diagrams are tightly present of these cells. So the second, this red color cell that I have made. Okay, so this is what? Your primary spermatocyte. This primary spermatocyte will form secondary spermatocytes. So I am just making over here only, not much. That is the secondary spermatocyte. Now these secondary spermatocyte will change into the spermatozoa. Okay, so these are spermatozoa. And finally, oh, I'm sorry, not spermatozoa, spermatids. Okay, this is spermatids. Now this spermatids will change into spermatozoa. So if we divide this whole tube, then tube will look something like this. The periphery of the tube has these cells present. The lumen will have what? The mature form of the sperms. Okay, so this is the lumen. If someone will ask, like, which cells will be present in the lumen, then these cells will be present. These cells are what? Spermatozoa. Normally spermatozoa word is coming means they have flagella present, but in reality flagella is not formed here. It is formed in the epidermis. Okay, later on, not in the seminiferous tubule. Maturation is not taking place, but here NCERT has shown it, so we are teaching you like that way. Okay, so if someone will ask, like, form advancing into the mature form, which is on the outside, there is a presence of spermatogonia. Then there is the presence of primary spermatocyte, secondary spermatocyte, then spermatids and the spermatozoa. Okay, these are the seminiferous tubule. Now if someone will ask, like, what is the pathway of the sperm from here? So sperms are forming into what? Seminiferous tubule. So this I have made seminiferous tubule, section of seminiferous tubule. Okay, now the next thing that we're gonna talk about is the pathway of the sperm. Okay, so next thing is pathway of sperm. So in the pathway of the sperm, the first is the seminiferous tubule. From seminiferous tubule, it will be released into the vasa efferentia, which is also present in the testes. This will go and join into reti testes. No, sorry. Back. This is tubuli recti, not this. Seminiferous tubule will release into the tubuli recti. Then it will go to the reti testes. Then it will goes to vasa efferentia. Then it will be released into the epididymis. From epididymis, it will goes to the vas deferens. From vas deferens, it joins to form ejaculatory duct with the seminal vesicle. Ejaculatory duct. From ejaculatory duct, it goes into the urethra. Through urethral meatus, it goes outside. So here, one thing you have to remember that this area, this is all present inside the testes. Okay, so this point or this system is called as intra testicular duct system. And the rest one is what? The extra testicular ducts. Okay, so this thing you have to remember. So sperm pathway, we know that, we should remember it, very important. Moving on to the next one would be the all these structures and all we have talked basic about everything. The accessory glands that is present, which we have not talked much about it. So let's just talk about the accessory glands. Okay, accessory glands. So just fact you have to remember. Number one is the seminal vesicle. First point you have to remember that it contributes majority of the fluid is being provided by this gland only. No other gland is doing except this. So majority fluid will be provided by the seminal vesicles. Okay. Next, seminal vesicle also provide prostaglandins, help in the movements and the vacuum created in the female tube, so that ascent of the sperms can take place. Okay, that function is there. Moving to it, it's also released what? Seminal vesicles. It also have citric acid and nutrients present. Okay, citric acid for providing energy. Okay, citric acid cycle. Okay, moving on. This is the major points that you have bare minimum point that you have to remember. Okay, then we have what? Then we have the prostate gland. Now the prostate gland gives, one thing is viscosity. Along with that, it is giving this gland characteristic odor. Okay, milky appearance. Okay, so this is the prostate gland, along with the other things are being provided. Okay, next, the third thing is the bulbourethral gland. The bulbourethral gland will do what? It will release the help in the releasement of the sperms outside, so it reduces the friction by lubrication. So releases lubricants. Okay, so these 3 points at least you have to remember. And this gland is called as Cooper's gland. So accessory glands, we have done it. Next thing, when these secretions are added up into the sperm, then what do we call to the sperm? The sperm is now referred as semen. Now, when the one-time ejaculation is occurring into the female body, that is insemination, then how much amount of semen is released? So you have to remember 2 to 2.5 milliliter in an healthy individual, it will be released. Okay. Next point, you have to remember that in that, how much amount of sperm is present? In that, 200 to 300 millions of sperm cell present. Now, for fertilization to occur, means a person is fertile. We will say the male is fertile if in this 200 to 300 of sperm, 60% of sperm cells have normal motility, normal shape and size, and 40% of them must have vigorous motility, that it should be able to run fast and reach to the female part. Vigorous motility. Okay. The next thing that we have to remember is that every day the male produces 100 to 200 million of sperm in the testes. Okay. So this thing we have to remember. Then the next thing that we should remember is that this semen is alkaline in nature, and this alkalinity is provided by the prostate gland only. And if it is an alkaline, its pH is 7.2 to 7.7. Okay. Well, that's it. Okay. And one point I forgot to tell you, that the glans penis is covered by the loose fold of skin, which is called as prepuce or the foreskin, which is easily traceable. And the neck of the gland, for example, this, if I'm making it, if this is the penis gland and this is the bulbourethral gland, so there is a covering like this present over here. Okay, covering, and this is the neck part. So this covering is what? Prepuce or the foreskin. Okay, and this part is what? Neck. Okay, this part is the neck, and the neck has sebaceous gland present called as Tyson gland. It releases what? White color material. Sebaceous secretions means oily secretions, and that material is called as smegma. Okay, so this you have to just remember few points. Okay, with this the male reproductive part is over. In this video we're gonna just be keeping this part so that you go through, remember it. Then in the next video we are going with the female reproductive system. Okay, I hope you like this video. If there's any doubt, you can connect me on the WhatsApp with the thing that this is the thing, sir. I will help you out. I hope that Ashwini, Pavisha, Divya, Tensi, Abhinya, Nitish, Vishnu, Virendra, you guys must have watched it. Do write that yes sir, we have watched this. Okay, well, that's all for this video. I will upload another video today itself so that you can go with this good thing, and you can go with a 1.5x to complete it faster. Okay, thank you.